this meeting to order at 6 o'clock.
Calvin, can you pin the agenda for us?
Perfect. Great. So the first item is public comment. Is there any public comment? Public on?
I don't see any.
Seeing none. The next agenda item is the FY26 budget. Everybody should have received a copy of it via email. And go ahead, and Tara.
So I was just going to say, I emailed you all the updated revenue page and tax page. We didn't make any changes on the expenditure side of the budget. You'll see now underneath donations and contributions that $15,000 for the Rochester Endowment Funds, which increases your offsetting local revenue. So it helped reduce the education per spending just a small amount. So that's now at that $12,357, excuse me, which is a reduction of 0.91% over FY25's per pupil spending.
Love it.
I'll be right back, guys. You keep going. I just got to scan something for people here in the office.
Okay.
So if there aren't any questions on the changes that we made, the next step would be, if you all are ready, would be to put forth a motion to approve the FY26 budget.
Great. Does anybody have any further questions or comments on this budget draft that Tara has provided us?
No, I'd like to move the budget as presented. We give the amount, the gross amount.
Yep. So it's going to be that $5,396,283. Yep.
Great. There's been a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Right. Pat has second. Is there any further discussion? Great. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And all opposed? Great. So moved. The budget passes. So next on the agenda is the annual warning.
So on the annual warning, the changes that we made were to Article 8, which is just updating the per pupil cost, as well as the reduction that we just talked about previously for the language that's required in that article. And then we also updated, based on the conversation that we had and the feedback that we had, to change your Australian ballot from the day of the annual meeting to be followed the next day, and then to move the annual meeting from 7:30 at night to 6 o'clock at night. So those were the adjustments I made as far as language is concerned. And then I removed the 2 signatures from the resignations last meeting.
Yeah. JC, I mean, she officially resigned, but then she also said she could stay on until she moved. So I don't know how we want to go about doing that.
I think we should leave her on right now. She's still a resident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I'll put her back on, and then any other adjustments, then I'll email this to Lindy so she has it for you all.
Okay, I think that changing our voting for members to the following day after our meeting will be very helpful for the Australian ballot part of it for after our annual meeting, which would be great because we'll be able to explain at that meeting as well. And as long as I'm sure you guys have researched to make sure that this is something that we can do just as a board, and we don't need it to be a warned action item.
You can do it because you called your meeting to order and you're holding it essentially that next day. We could not do it the day before.
Got it. So it's the meeting is almost extended through to the next day.
Absolutely correct, Amy.
Okay.
Yep. Just wanted you to know that Stockbridge town clerk did let us know that after reviewing this warning, that their preference was to continue to hold the Australian ballot on the same day as the annual meeting, which was different. It was contrary to what we originally had heard their desire to be. Rochester felt really good about doing this on Wednesday. That was via email, that response, Tara, and I'm not certain if necessarily the clerk fully understood. Patrick, you were on that email too, what we were actually talking about.
Yeah.
Can you comment any further, Patrick, on that?
As far as, so Rochester wanted to hold it the same day, but that's not possible if they have to keep their doors open till 7 p.m., correct?
It wasn't Rochester, it was Stockbridge.
Oh. Oh. So Jill replied that.
That was
No, I mean-
Jill's reply, was that.
Yep, it was Jill.
But I don't know if
Okay.
she realizes that what we were actually saying is that they could do it the next day. Like I'm not certain if she fully
Understood it.
that or not.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull that up.
It would definitely be preferable, I feel, and it would behoove everybody for the stress of having to have polls opened and that sticky time to try to be at our meeting to check in people. It's check in the residents. I felt that this was a direction that both of our towns clerks were interested in, so I would definitely like clarification if it maybe is a not a complete understanding by one of them of what we were trying to do.
Yeah. She didn't. So from what I'm seeing, I have the email string. It says RSUD annual meeting and Australian ballot voting. Was that the?
Yes. So Jill's response was, I think same day is best for Stockbridge. The polling location will be the same. And then Julie's response was, for the town of Rochester, I guess it would work best for the 2 different days because we have a town Australian ballot vote as well. Our voting hours are 10 to 7 for Rochester. Because my
I don't
email
see-
to them was,
Yeah.
we were changing the Australian ballot to be held the day after the annual meeting.
Yeah. So it's funny. I don't have any of that in my string of emails. I didn't see those responses. Huh.
Well, I mean, I'd like full clarity that everybody understands what we're trying to do. But I know that we need to, is today the last day we have to get this warning out?
Well, what I would say to the board is my advice would be that you adopt this warning and I can reach out with Patrick to Jill to explain it. And if there's still conflict around it, then the board could reconsider it. I mean,
Okay, we do have the opportunity
we
to,
can revise the warning. We've done that before. I mean, we're
Okay.
getting it on time. I'm hoping
Okay.
that through explaining it and explaining that we could actually have a meeting at 6 instead of 7:30, that this could be worked through an agreement.
okay.
Yeah.
That would be I'd be in favor of that. If it does keep us moving forward, but there is also the option of making an adjustment if we need to.
Yeah, I'd like to concur with that and like to move that we adopt the warning as presented with the updates that Tara gave us and have the Australian ballot elections for both communities on the day after, which would be on Wednesday, the 7th.
So we have a motion on the floor to accept this warning as written. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Great, our warning has passed. Thank you very much, everyone.
So I'm going to email this to Lindy so that she can print it out because we have to have wet signatures on it.
And you'll
then
add JC back on that.
I already put her on there. Yep. And then if we hear different and we need to change it, then we'll do this again. But otherwise, this will be ready for you all to sign.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask Jamie, this is a board decision, isn't it? It's not the town clerk decision that, or the power to pick the
Correct.
day of the election.
That's
It
correct.
is indeed our decision. They are public. Yeah, it is our decision. We just are always not trying to accommodate everybody. So,
Yeah.
um,
Thank you.
great. Is there any public comment? Great. Hearing none. I know that there's other meetings that people need to get to. So I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. All those in
Second.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great. Thank you, everyone.